Hey everybody, welcome back to another Destiny 2 Fashion Friday. Hope you guys had a great week. I got day one VOG done, so I have taken a bit of a break from the game, if you can imagine. We did 15 hours fighting Atheon and his bros, but we got it done eventually. It's just me and a random LFG team. It was pretty fun. I think I'll be doing some more of those in the future, actually. For today's fashion video, though, we're gonna do something a little more fun. We're gonna be doing my top 10 least favorite shaders, pretty much like the ugliest shaders in the game. And I challenged myself to actually give you guys some sets along with this list, so hope you guys enjoy my attempt at making these vomit colored and weird bright colored shaders actually look good. Number 10 is going to be a shader that I don't think is super bad. It's going to be this Gloam strife. If you like teal, I could see you liking the shader. A lot of teal to it. And the thing I really don't like though is how the metals turn this like kind of desaturated orange and like almost a wood grain dark brown. These just look really weird in a lot of sets and it's really tough to match. You could probably do maybe like butterbark, but then the yellow and that orange are kind of clashing a little too close together in my opinion. So you can't even really match the wood shaders together, which is a little frustrating to me. If you're just gonna go full out and you like teal, I could see you being okay with a shader on your hunter, or maybe like a really cloth-based Titan and Warlock. But yeah, not my favorite. Number 9 is gonna be Crimson Valor. This shader I could see some people liking actually. Really bright red and a lot of other dark tones besides that red. You're just getting the primary metal hard surface getting this bright red, and you actually get a pretty dark black on your secondary hard surface, and a lot of the soft surfaces get at least a dark gray. So if you're into if you're into this really bright red and this mostly dark soft area, I could see you liking the shader, but you really have to go full send on the shader. So that's why I personally don't like it. This red matches literally nothing else in the game, and I've tried, and it just is a little too bright to me. That's why it's round up on number 9. Number 8. It's a shader that I actually really don't mind. I like the white. It's very pristine white usually. And the brown is nice for a lot of different kinds of pants to get like that leathery look. Or you can see here it does well in the middle. But the yellow I think ruins it a lot for a lot of people. If you're a hunter, you probably will not like this. If you're a Titan, I've used it well with Titan. You just got to really avoid the metal with the yellow on it. It's just a really desaturated, gross yellow. It kind of spoils the shader for me. But as you can see here, the chest piece doesn't look too bad with it. I wish there was more diversity on the like feathering up here and the scarf. The brown doesn't look that great right there to me, but the middle and the bottom of the chest piece does look pretty cool. But yeah, it's just not a great shader unless you get like that only white showing on one of your pieces. The next shader up is actually a shader that has a lot of similarities with the other Gambit shaders in the past. It's the raw Idacrace shader. Probably mispronouncing that, please forgive. It gives you really cool gold actually. If you can get a piece that actually utilizes that gold like only, it can look kind of cool, really futuristic. That gold is a little hard to match, so I would recommend using some other contrasting shaders with it, but definitely give you a cool futuristic look. The green metallic, kind of bold to go along with this super bold gold, and don't really like the rest of the colors. You get a lot of like gray, kind of a desaturated green, and a red that really pops out. A little too much going on, can be really tough to work with, and that gold is impossible to match. So you can't even really go like mix up and match the golds even. So tough shader to work with if you're mixing and matching shaders, and really tough shader to work if you're just throwing it on every piece of armor. So I think it's squarely in the top 10 in my opinion. Next up, representing pretty much every shader that gives you a bright blue and a bright red or orange, it's the Atlantic Rush. There's quite a few of these shaders in the game, so I guess kind of just think of these as like all together. I mean, Deep Sea Jaunt is kind of similar, but I think it's actually pretty usable. Bold Statement, I think is just a better version as well. You got a lot more black in that one to kind of neutralize the colors a little bit at least. But yeah, Atlantic Rush is just full force, full saturation, red and blue. And just, I don't know, it's not for me. If you really like this blue-red combo, I guess if you're going like Optimus Prime, you know, on the Titan, it could be kind of cool. But yeah, just for like a average set trying to look good, I think this is a pretty terrible shader and really tough to match with. You know, you can go with that like light blue family, like the Vanguard Flashfire, but then Flashfire's popping in with the oranges, and the orange and the red's kind of a weird combo. And a lot of the other light blues just have other things going on and just doesn't add up well with this bright red that's popping out in the Atlantic Rush. So yeah, I think it deserves this pretty low spot in the total fashion universe of shaders. Number 5, worst shader, a pretty nice looking shader if you didn't have this puke green everywhere. It's the Kairos Gold. Really makes me sad a lot of times. I look at this one thinking about Kairos Bronze here. Kairos Bronze is really nice. One of my favorite shaders actually, honestly. And they just always go so close to each other in this lineup, but I really like this dark red that's got here in the middle of the chest, but just the rest of the colors is like desaturated green, like puke green, and like not a dark gray, like a really light gray. It's just really gross. And I think this type of green is literally just ruining a lot of shaders in the game for me. If you like that green, maybe you're going like swamp monster themes. I could see you kind of want that green, but yeah, it's just kind of a terrible shader in my opinion. Number 4, a sad one for me, honestly. I really like most of these Iron Banner shaders, but Iron Precious was just a huge miss, and it's kind of funny because Raw Idacrace came out the same season, and it is just really bold in just all the wrong direction. This like yellowy green that, I mean, once again is a little vomity, but then you also have like a kind of dirty or like poopy brown. Just a terrible combo of colors. Like literally if you were trying to make the worst shader ever, I think you would do these two at least first, thinking like, you know, what's the worst sounding thing? It would be these two colors. And I just don't know why they did this to you, you know? I like that brown is just too shiny to be used as like a leather in any set, any respectable set. And the chance of you getting one of these yellowy greens popping through is just really too high to be even thinking about popping it on to see what it looks like. So yeah, huge miss. One of the only Iron Banner shaders that I actually don't like. I think almost all the other ones are at least kind of cool, little tame usually, but have a lot of value in kind of a cowboy aesthetic. So Iron Precious, sorry buddy. Number 3, you know, I think you'll probably see a little bit of a theme here near the end, but these greens, man. This one even has like some splotches on the hard surfaces to even add to that pukey look. Just terrible. I honestly don't hate this orange, so I mean, you could find a set with that orange poking through, kind of a nice burnt orange, but really marred by this terrible green. You can see they even threw some teal in the secondary hard surface. Just confusing to say the least. Really boring glow white. You even get like a cool teal glow out of this terrible shader. I don't even know what they were thinking with this one. This is a bold one. This one was very hard to work with. I hope you guys appreciate all these sets that I've managed to cobble together. They're not top tier probably, but they're at least lookable. You know, you can take a glance and not run to your nearest bathroom. You know, hopefully at least. You know, you can let me know if I failed on that one. And number two, I think, is a shader that would be hard to forget. I think is one of the more memed on terrible shaders, and one I think a lot of people think of first. It's the beautiful watermelon. I actually didn't have the shader until recently. I got it out of a bright engram. I'm not sure how I missed this one before, but yeah, it's something that came to me, I guess. I was definitely not hurting for it to come back, but here it is. And yeah, I think it speaks for itself. You just have this super contrasting saturated green and red. Maybe a small redeeming quality of this set is this really deep layered soft material, this shader zone. That's kind of a cool pattern, but it's a little metallic, and I don't really like my soft shader zones to be metallic usually. So kind of a downside, but if you're into it, it does have a kind of a cool pattern. I personally just find that red to be kind of hard to match with, and the red and green combo is just a little stark and not the greatest in my opinion. But I think I did actually do a pretty cool set here for it. I think I kind of hid the nasty greens into some of like the feathering, made it look like leaves, and matched those leaves with the other pieces. And I kind of like how that one came out. Pretty proud of that one. Let me know if that one tickles your fancy. Some honorable mentions before we hit number one. Just like to throw these in here to kind of build suspense a little bit. We got the two cheese shaders, as I call them, the Flavito core. You can see, hopefully in the video, the like textured yellow. Very cheesy to me. Flavito core. If you want to match that cheese, you can rock this vitrified duality. A bit of a different texture, a little more shiny. You can see in the secondary there. Also textured though. So little cheesy yellow, a little darker cheese. You know, maybe get like a full charcuterie board going here with the cheeses. You know, kind of doing different things for you. I'd love to see a cheese set if you want to join the Discord. Little Discord plug, check the description. Post in the fashion sets. I love cheese, and cheese. Oh, you know what? You gotta match it with the Golden Age wine too. Oh, that's a set. Maybe I'll steal that from you guys before you can even post it. But what a full, you know, wino charcuterie board night. Golden Age wine, vitrified duality. That would be great. And finally, number one, Vibrant Beach. Just a terrible shader. You got a not so bad blue. It's a little bit bright, and just a lot of different shader zones are the exact same blue. You do get a kind of a cool little honeycomb texture on your soft zones here. That's kind of nice, but it is just kind of poured all over. And your secondary color found in some of the metal is just maybe the grossest green of all that we've seen. This desaturated, pukey green, and once again, glow, super boring white. So just nothing redeeming about the shader, honestly. I don't see a reason why you would ever use this unless you're doing some light blues and you get this kind of cool honeycomb texture as like the only thing that's showing up for you. But otherwise, there's just better shaders, and Vibrant Beach is just not worth wrestling over. And you know, Season of the Forge, some of the best shaders in the game, Season of the Forge, but they I guess they wanted to anchor that down a little bit with the Vibrant Beach. Let me know if you liked these sets though with these terrible shaders. I think it was kind of fun to even use like multiple in the same set on some of these, and it was fun to see what good shaders actually kind of helped them, you know, work a little better in my opinion, make them usable at least. If you think I missed the worst shader in your opinion, let me know in the comments though. I think that's kind of the fun point of these lists. is you tell me what your top 10, or I guess worst 10 here is. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you like these fashion videos. I do a lot of multi-shader sets and post every Friday. If you like the video or are impressed by my use of these garbage shaders, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.